Will Georgia tight end Brock Bowers be a top 10 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft? As of right now, ESPN's draft analyst Todd McShay seems to think so. I feel like we've been talking about Todd McShay a lot. Regardless, he's given us a talking point in a mock draft, and he's got Brock Bowers going 6 to the Colts. Obviously, a few years ago, 2021, Kyle Pitts, the tight end from Florida, went 4th overall. The highest tight end, I think, ever, or if not, it was in a long time. Bowers will likely be the highest tight end selected since him. Now, is Bowers going to be a top 5 pick? I don't know, because we're going to have to get into positional value. We're going to have to get into, is there going to be a quarterback race? How many quarterbacks are going to be considered top guys? All of that. And I'm going to project some of that a little bit because I watch too. It's not just you guys. It's not just you draft analysts. Ryan Coley from DAWGS talking about Bowers and the 24 NFL draft. And I think that there could be another handful of Georgia guys that get taken in that first round. And I'll throw some of those out there at the end. Double Dogs. Dogstruction. Look, don't miss out on these books. Don't miss out on these books. I know Dean's got some sort of promo going around right now. So just be on the lookout. He's the one saying that. So links are down below for Double Dogs. This is what he said about Bowers, like in his little analysis for the Colts taking him at 6. The Colts have used picks on the tight end position, blah, blah, blah. The only knock on him is 6'4", 230-pound frame. He's a little undersized for the position. Look, I think he's more like 6'3" personally. But he's a reliable pass catcher, 119 catches, 1,824 yards, 20 touchdowns over the past 2 years. Bowers is tough to stop after the catch, too. He averaged more than 8 yards after the catch per reception last season. Indy can plug him in and let him cook with Anthony Richardson, essentially, is what he was saying. So, look, Caleb Williams is going to be a top 3 pick. Drake May is probably going to be it's just the quarterbacks. Like, you saw it this year. It's going to be similar, all right? You saw this year. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson were 3 of the top 4 guys. Were those 3 of the best players in the draft? I'd probably put Bryce in the top 5 for sure. But the other guys I wouldn't say were one of the best players in the draft. Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, Bijan Robinson. Those are the 3 guys I looked at and like, those are the 3 best players in the draft, right? I'd put Bryce Young right after that. I think Bryce Young's phenomenal. But the quarterback, it's a quarterback-driven sport. Not league, sport. It is a quarterback-driven sport. Caleb Williams and Drake May are going to be top 5 picks if nothing goes wrong. If it all goes the way we think it's going to go, right? I don't know that there's going to be another quarterback that emerges. Now, here's the other thing. Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to get taken before Brock Bowers, probably. Okay? I'd be kind of surprised if he didn't. Just because at the end of the day, Marvin Harrison Jr. is an actual wide receiver. Now, with Bowers, I just don't know if I've seen someone that plays that position do all those things. It's the running, the blocking, it's everything, the pass catching, the strength. He's special, and he's going to be a top 10 pick, probably. He'll be a first-rounder for sure. If Brock Bowers is not a first-round pick next year, something really, really wrong happened, and I don't hope that for Brock. So some of the other guys that are being touted as top 10 prospects, JT, I don't know how to say it, Tiumau, I've never heard it out loud, actually. The tackle he's the defensive end from Ohio. That stunned me. You know who I'm talking about. Number 44 on Ohio State, defensive and outside linebacker kind of guy. The tackle from Penn State is someone I see a lot. The corner from Alabama, Kool-Aid McKinstry, is someone I see a lot. So that's kind of your normal routine. Dallas Turner, the outside lineman for Alabama, certainly could end up being a top 10 pick. I think that there's a lot of interesting talent, and it's just going to depend because I'm trying to go down the list and find if there's another quarterback. Jack Sawyer. I'm not seeing any other quarterbacks. So, all right, I found one. J.J. McCarthy at pick 20 to the Vikings. I'm going to tell you right now, that's not happening. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't think that's going to happen. I think J.J. McCarthy is a really good college player. I don't really think he's going to be a touted NFL prospect. It's just kind of my opinion. So I'm not seeing any other quarterbacks. So this is going to be a different draft, maybe. He's got Javon Bullard going in this. if you're, let's say I mean, like if you're just looking through, if it was Tampa, right, they're going to need a quarterback. Arizona, they don't seem to be married to Kyler Murray. They might want a quarterback. The Commanders might want a quarterback. The Titans probably not. So that's where it's like these teams that we think are going to be bad. The Titans might want Bowers. The Colts might want Bowers. I don't think the Falcons would want Bowers at this point when they got Pitts. The Bears could want Bowers. The Patriots could want Bowers. I mean, is there a limit to for me when I'm thinking about, hey, is this guy going to go top 10? And you think about, well, it's not a position that's a position of value, right? Well, Bijan Robinson went 8. You saw Kyle Pitts a few years ago go 4. There's kind of game breakers that happen every once in a while. And Bowers is probably going to be one of them just because of how different he is. He is different, right? I know it's slang, but dude's different, all right? He's a freak. And these teams are going to have to look and be like, hey, I mean, he could be a huge part of our offense. Now, look, that hasn't worked out for the Falcons so far. Kyle Pitts has not been this sensational player for the Falcons yet, and I don't think that's all Kyle Pitts' fault, but Bowers could find himself in a situation like that too, where he's either not being used properly, the scheme just doesn't really fit him. Here's what I'll say, all right? I am not a football coach, but when you have players like Kyle Pitts, like Brock Bowers, you create for them. And you've seen that over and over with Georgia. It's not happening quite yet for the Falcons. They're not creating things for Kyle Pitts, and they're not using him. All right, it doesn't take an idiot to watch the games, and it doesn't take a genius to figure out, well, they're just not using him correctly. Or correctly is maybe not the right word. To the best of his abilities. Bowers is a guy you draw things up for because you want the ball in his hands. And so he's going to end up being one of those can't miss types of prospects, because like a Bijan Robinson. I know the Falcons, when these unicorn players come out, it seems like the Falcons really like them. This isn't about the Falcons, but it's just interesting to think about. And you'll have to watch it because those two best examples of, well, this position's not super valuable, but this guy's just too good. The Falcons got both of them. So it'll be interesting to see, are those guys panning out? Is it the Falcons' fault, right? Bowers, I don't think will end up being a Falcon, but it's the same sentiment with him because I think he's the same type of player in that way, if that makes sense. Some other guys that could go first round, Bullard, Mims could go first round, Lassiter could go first round. I think Smallmonda could go first round. I keep an eye on those types of players. I don't think Cedric Van Pran would. Interior guy. He could go early, though. He could go early. Bowers, top 10 pick? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching.